Death and the Robot is a 2013 animated short film directed by Austin Taylor and written by Taylor and Alex Thompson. And visually, this is absolutely stunning. I think the character of Death in particular I really liked. The character of the robot, sometimes I feel like for me, it didn't really fit in. I kind of almost wished the robot wasn't there and it was just about Death. And I'll talk about that and explain what I mean by that in a moment. But at the same time, I can kind of understand why they'd include the robot, but for me personally, I actually don't think it worked quite as well. But I will explain what I mean. So there will be spoilers from now as I talk a little bit about what happens. The whole thing is about 10 or 11 minutes. So I do recommend it. It is a nice experience. And as I said, there'll be spoilers from now. And we have our two protagonists. We have Death, the Grim Reaper, if you like, and also this robot. And both of the character designs are really great. I love the stop motion animation. I love the movements of the characters. I think that all works really well. And we can tell quite quickly that both of these characters are on their own. They have this solitary existence and they're both very lonely. And then they meet each other and they end up working together to plant flowers and make this beautiful scene. It is absolutely gorgeous. I love the use of light and colour in this. It's all absolutely stunning. And I think that's one of the main reasons why I'm recommending this, is because visually it is just gorgeous. And also the image of Death with gardening gloves on, there's just something about that I found so charming. Really enjoyed them. And the teeny tiny gloves are just absolutely adorable. So that definitely appealed to me. And I like the idea of two characters, both of whom are living a life alone, coming together to work on something that ends up being really beautiful. And what I didn't like, there are a couple of things that there's one thing that I didn't like. And the main thing is that the robot seemed to, and as I said, these are spoilers, the robot seemed to die at the end because he didn't have his power source. But robots don't have a soul, so they can't die. They can stop working, they can malfunction, but it seemed like Death had lost a friend. And that's what it felt like. But it's a robot. It can be repaired, or it can be plugged back in, or whatever energy source that it has. So for me, I just don't think that made a lot of sense. And as I said, I don't really love the character of the robot because, again, to me, it just doesn't seem to be as beautiful as the character of Death. Because here we have Death, of course, who takes people's lives, but then we see Death planting flowers and making life and bringing things to life. And it's a strong contrast, and I thought that was very well done. Whereas I personally don't see the robot's involvement in that. The robot doesn't kill anybody. Robots don't go around bringing things to life. I mean, if they're planting flowers, I guess. But for me, I just didn't really think the robot's involvement was as moving as Death's. Seeing Death creating life and making this gorgeous scene where obviously Death is taking lives when he's not doing this, I thought was really powerful and really moving. With the robot, not so much. I didn't really get anything out of that character. I don't really think the character needed to be there. Yes, it was nice to see Death having a friend, but I don't really think the robot worked very well for me. I like the design of the character, and maybe there's something there that I'm not reading. If that's the case, if there's something I'm overlooking, I'm absolutely fine with that. Please feel free to educate me. That absolutely might be the case. But with my reading of it, the robot just felt a little bit unnecessary. And I honestly think it would have been more moving and more powerful if it was just Death. Death alone, wandering around a graveyard, deciding that, yes, they have to take lives, that is their job, but when they're not taking human lives or animal lives, they're going to plant flowers and bring them to life. And I think that would have been more moving and more meaningful. What we got was sweet, beautifully animated, but definitely not as strong as it could have been. I don't think the robot, in my opinion, with my reading, I don't think the robot really served a purpose. Maybe it's suggesting that somebody who is mechanical, who doesn't seem to have any spirit or soul, is still able to create something beautiful, but I don't think that would be a solid reading of it. So I'm not riding down that one too much. Did I enjoy it? Yes, I did. Is it perfect? No, it isn't. but it is still visually beautiful. The animation is gorgeous. And if it seems like it's something that might appeal to you, then I'd say it's worth checking out.